What's good with your fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Hey, man, listen, first off, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. And like I always say, fam, if you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. Happy Tuesday, fam. Happy Tuesday to all the boxing fam out there, man. I want to talk a little boxing in the AM, man. This is Boxing Blast, episode 4. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to get on here real quick, man, and we're going to talk a little bit about Bob Arum. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum seems to be real adamant that there will be no Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua undisputed fight. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum is the promoter of Kubrat Pulev. And he believes that Kubrat Pulev is going to knock Anthony Joshua out. That's why he says there will be no Joshua Fury fight, because he says Joshua ain't gonna make it past Kubrat Pulev. That fight's taking place sometime in June. It just been announced that Joe Goosen is going to train Kubrat Pulev. Now that move that happened with Joe Goosen, man, was some bullshit, wasn't it? He led everybody to believe that he was going to announce that he was going to be training Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was saying that behind the scenes, man. Yeah, Joe Goosen going to be training Wilder. He got a big announcement. You know, Joe was on somebody's podcast. I forget the dude's name, man. Randy something. He was on his podcast and he was, talking about he had a big announcement, and the interviewer was trying to get it out of him. Is it Wilder? And, Goosen just laughed this shit off, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wanted people to believe it was going to be Wilder, man. But it turned out it was not Deontay Wilder. Is Kubrat Pulev, man. Now, Joe Goosen is a world-class trainer, you understand? And I think he can bring something to the table with Pulev, man. Now Pulev, he ain't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? He's been around for a while. He's what, 28? My bad, fam. Kubrat Pulev is 28-1. With that lone loss was a knockout loss to Klitschko. I believe that was back in like 2014 or something. 2014, 2015, man. But he was knocked out by Klitschko. Klitschko knocks mostly everybody out anyway. That was a prime Klitschko too. You know what I mean? He ain't got no big names on his resume, but he has fought some decent competition. He got victories over Derek Chisora, Tony Thompson, Sam Peter, Tyson's cousin, what's the name? Huey Fury. You know what I mean? Pulev's a decent fighter, but Anthony Joshua out his best. He's no Anthony Joshua, man. But the big question is Anthony Joshua going to be the same fighter? You know what I mean? Bob Arum seems to think Anthony Joshua is going to be gun shy from now on. He's saying he ain't going to be as confident, So the big question is Joshua going to fight the way he did in the second fight versus Ruiz? Or is this going to be the old Joshua who's coming in to destroy you? You know what I'm saying? This fight right here is going to tell a lot about Anthony Joshua and his future. Will have the knockout from Ruiz in the back of his mind. Pulev can punch too. He can punch. He ain't no devastating puncher, but he's a decent puncher with decent pop. I think out of 29 fights, he got 14 or 15 knockouts, you know what I'm saying? So that's about 50%, you know what I mean? That's decent power, It ain't no world beater. If it's the old AJ, I believe the old AJ will go in here and, win this fight. But it's all about if AJ's the same dude. You know what I mean? If AJ can be that destroyer that he used to be, man. AJ used to be fearless. You know what I'm saying? He used to come in there, bang, and try to get you out of there. But, did Ruiz take that away from him? Once a fighter gets knocked out, you know what I mean, and beat up and embarrass the way Anthony Joshua did, there's no telling if, you know what I mean, he could be the same. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the big question. Can Anthony Joshua come out and be the same Anthony Joshua? Or is he going to be gun shy? Is he going to be afraid to pull the trigger? Is he going to box from the outside like he did in Andy Ruiz too? You know, that's what we'll see, man. That's what we'll see. But it's not out of possibilities that Pulev, you know, wins this fight. Pulev can win this fight. You know, AJ doesn't have the best chin. You know, it's been proven. He's been, you know, buzzed quite a few times. He's been down quite a few times. But, you know, what Anthony Joshua does have, Anthony Joshua got heart. You know, Anthony Joshua, every time he was knocked down, say what you want about him getting his ass whooped. Every time he was knocked down, he got up. You know, he got up. And that takes a lot of courage when you're getting your ass whooped like that, and get knocked down over and over, but you get back up and you know, and want to continue to fight. You know, a lot of people think that he quit in the first Ruiz fight. He says he was trying to buy time, you know, but you know, we really don't know what was going in his mind. All we know is what we've seen and the way we interpret it, man. But what I got from it is that Anthony Joshua kept getting up, man. He kept getting up, ready to fight, man. He could have laid on the ground and act like he was so dizzy and, you know, and took the full 10 count. He could have act like he was knocked out and, you know, things like that. But no, Anthony Joshua kept getting up, man. So that tells me that, you know, he got a lot of heart. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see if the same destructive Anthony Joshua comes out in this Pulev fight, or will we see this new style of his, this you know, hit and not get hit, man. I think that fight takes place June 20th, something like that. It's gonna be in the UK where AJ wanted it. You understand me? I'm interested to see that, man. But this Saturday, man, we got the young phenom Shakur Stevenson, man. He's going up against Miguel Mariaga. Now, you know, Miguel Mariaga, he may not be a household name to the casual fans, may not be a big name to the casual fans, but Mariaga is a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He got 3 losses. You know, he got a loss to Lomachenko, Nicholas Waters, and who's the third that guy that he lost to, man? God damn. Oscar Valdez. So he lost to Valdez, Loma, and Nicholas Walters. All those guys are top athletes, top fighters, elite fighters. You know what I mean? He got 29 fights with 3 losses, man. You know, and those are the 3 that he lost to. So when he stepped up to the tippity top, he lost. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a real good fight for Shakur Stevenson, man. It's going to tell us a lot. This is going to be the best challenge of Shakur's career. You know what I mean? It's going to tell us if he is what we think he is. Now, Shakur, what, he got 13, 14 fights? You know what I'm saying? With like 7 knockouts. You know, it's going to tell us a lot, man, if he is what we think he is. You know what I'm saying? Shakur wants to be unified. He wants to be the baddest of the baddest. Shakur wants to be elite. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be in that conversation, man. When you talk about the best fighters right now, Shakur Stevenson wants to be on that list, man. He wants to be pound for pound. And I got to say, his attitude, man, his approach to the boxing game need to be applauded, man. But this Mariaga fight is a real test. This ain't no Joet Gonzalez, which is, you know, the best win of the young Stevenson's career. Now, Joet Gonzalez is a solid fighter, but I think, you know, he ain't on the level of Mariaga. You know what I'm saying? Mariaga's going to bring it. If you know, Lomachenko is the only person to knock him out. But in that fight with Lomachenko, Lomachenko came out that fight with his face touched up, man. You know, his face was touched up. Lomachenko, you know, got touched up by Mariaga. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time that we seen any type of holes, per se, in Loma's game was when he fought Mariaga. You know what I mean? So Mariaga's going to bring it to the young boy, Shakur Stevenson, man. It's all about how he's able to deal with it, man. I think Shakur is definitely what they say he is, what we think he is. I think he will handle Mariaga. I think he'll get the unanimous decision. Like I said, Mariaga is only been stopped once, and that's by Lomachenko. The losses to Nicholas Waters and Oscar Valdez was unanimous decisions. You know what I mean? But you know, he didn't get knocked out in those fights. You know what I mean? So should Shakur knock him out, man, that'll be a hell of a statement. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a hell of a statement, and and Shakur will, put his name. Shakur wants that fight with Warrington. He wants Warrington bad, man. And now that Warrington is with Eddie Hearn, I do think that fight can and will happen sometime this summer. Eddie Hearn, seems to be about making big fights, man. So we'll see if he, if he's willing to make that fight. You know what I mean? In other news, man, Deontay Wilder, WBC puts out a statement congratulating Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, among a couple other fighters, for passing their drug test. Wilder has stated that both Wilder and Fury has passed their drug test. I know there was, rumors going out that Tyson Fury failed his test. I don't know where some of these guys come up with this shit, man. You know what I mean? They just come up, pull shit out the air, pull shit out their ass. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury failed his drug test, and why is it taking so long, and all that type of talk right there, man. Well, the WBC and VADA have put out a statement saying that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, both passed the drug test. So we could put that conspiracy to bed. But this glove gate thing, that still got legs, man. A lot of people are still talking about it. And we'll see what comes from it, man. I don't think nothing gonna come from it. But, people still talking about it, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are talking about it. It's definitely got some steam. So, we'll see what's up with it, man. Also, Jamel Herring, he finally got that fight with Carl Frampton. It's been made official. He will defend his WBO title against Frampton in Belfast. I'm looking forward to that fight, man. Like I said this plenty of times on the channel. If you follow the channel, to me, Jamel Herring, he ain't no world beater, man. I always thought he was an average fighter, man, and Bomac, took him to the next level. He got 21 wins with 2 losses. One of those losses, he was knocked out by what's the guy's name? Russian dude, Denis Shapovalov. He knocked Jamel out. But I gotta admit, ever since he got with Bomac, man, he been looking sharper. He been looking, a lot better. His confidence is up too. You know what I mean? Because when I first seen Jamel Herring, man, I'm like, man, this dude. You know what I mean? I wasn't impressed at all. I still ain't really impressed with him, but I do see the improvement since being with Bomac. And being, you training with Bomac, you training with Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You up there with one of the best fighters in the world, man. So some of that shit, some of that juice, some of that sauce got to rub off on Jamel. You know what I mean? And it's evident in his swagger now. He walks around with a little swagger now. His confidence is up, man. You know what I mean? And in this boxing game, you gotta have confidence, man. You gotta believe that you can win. And you got to be vocal about it. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he can go into Belfast, you know what I mean, and to Carl Frampton's birthplace, and he think he could pull off the win. Now Frampton, he's a tough dude, man. He only got 2 losses, and that's to Leo Santa Cruz and Josh Warrington. So I think Frampton got more experience. You know what I mean? He got more experience than Jamel Herring. You know what I mean? But Herring he looks so much bigger than Frampton. And I believe that size is going to play a part in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I think size will play a part, but Herring is going to have to be on his game because Frampton could fight. I love the way he fought Leo in that first Leo Santa Cruz fight where he upset Leo. he fought brilliantly, man. He fought aggressively. He was in there to bang. You know what I'm saying? He got decent power. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to this fight, man. I like Carl Frampton. You know what I mean? I like Carl Frampton, but I would have to go with Herring on this one. Simply because, like I stated, man, he has gotten better with under the tutelage of Bomac. And I think he's the bigger man, man. I think size is going to definitely, without a doubt, play a part in this fight. You know what I mean? Frampton's a little dude. He is a little dude, man, and Jamel Herring used his size right. I know Bomac, he's strategizing. I know he's gonna come up with a good game plan, and we'll see if he's able to execute that game plan to a T. But he has gotten better. You know what I mean? And if he beats Cole Frampton, this will say a lot to me about Jamel Herring. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's just an average fighter at best, who Bomac was able to help develop his skills and help him, to win a world title, man. But we'll see, man. And what else? Jose Ramirez, Victor Postol, man. Their fight was postponed. They were supposed to go down in China, but as I reported, I think I was one of the first to report when this coronavirus started, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was because of this fight, man. The fight got postponed because that there was an epidemic of, you heard about the coronavirus. It was deep. It was started in China. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the fight between Postol and Ramirez was supposed to take place. Now we know Ramirez is the unified champion. He is undefeated. But Postol, you know what I'm saying, is no joke. Postol's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? The real deal, Holyfield. We gonna come in there with the knuckles ready, you know what I'm saying, ready to throw, man. Postol, he only got 2 losses. He got 2 losses in his career, and they are to Terrence Crawford and Josh Taylor, the best. You know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor's one of the best right now. He's a unified champion. Last fight, he beat Regis Prograis. And we all know what Terrence Crawford is about. Terrence Crawford has all type of accolades that I can name, but you know what I'm saying, if you follow boxing, you know what Terrence Crawford brings, so I ain't got to even talk about it, man. So Victor Postol has lost to these 2 guys, man, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? He got, 30-something fights, and he only lost to those 2 guys. So Victor Postol's gonna present a real test to Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? I think Ramirez has gotten better and better since he, left Freddie Roach and got with Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia, something about that Oxford, them boys over there in Oxnard, California, man. Robert is, he's able to create, monsters, man. If you look at Josecito Lopez, since, he got with Robert, it's like a resurgence of these dudes' careers, man. You know what I mean? Robert gets into their head, give them the confidence they need. And, it seems like, they've come out with that seek and destroy type of mentality. Brandon Rios, Jose Ramirez, like I just said, the guy who fought, I just said his name. The guy who Jose, God damn it, I'm having a brain freeze, man. The dude who came back and almost beat Keith Thurman, man. Josecito Lopez, man. All those guys, Robert Garcia was able to take them, man, and to amplify their games. You know what I mean? They was already good fighters, but when they got with Robert, man, I don't know what's in the water in Oxnard, but them dudes, man, they became like relentless now. You know what I mean? They relentless. They just want to hurt you, man. And he's gonna bring that pressure to Victor Postol. But Victor Postol is like a come forward fighter too. So, we could have fireworks in this fight. We could have a knockout in this fight. We could have some blood and bruised and knockdowns. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good fight, man. I think that's taking place May 9th in Fresno, California. I'm looking forward to that fight, man. Ramirez, he want to get past this fight so he can get to that undisputed fight with Josh Taylor later on in the year. We all know that Josh Taylor is now with Top Rank. He got a new trainer who is Ben Davison. They seem to be working together. Um, I can't wait. I can't wait to see. What I'm saying, if Ben Davison can bring another element to Josh Taylor's game. Josh Taylor's a beast, man. He made me a believer in the fight with Prograis. I picked Prograis to go in there and destroy Josh Taylor. And Josh Taylor bullied the bully, man. I was surprised that he was able to fight like that against Prograis. I just knew Prograis was going to break him down, but to my surprise, man, in the championship round, Taylor was still fresh. He was still fast. He was still strong, and he took it to that next level when he needed to, man. And he walked away with Regis Prograis titles. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a test for him. It's going to be a test for Ramirez. Victor Postel. Like I said, he's a veteran. He gave Josh Taylor a hell of a fight. Although Josh beat him, it was a hell of a fight, man. You could even say that the first half of that fight, them dudes was in there knuckling up, man. You know what I'm saying? They was throwing that leather hard. You know, but yeah, that fight taking place May 9th in Fresno, California. I'll be glued to the tube, man. I'm gonna cover that fight, and we'll talk about it later, man. But listen, man, this is just a boxing blast, man, where I come on here in the AM and just talk a little bit about the headlines, the top headlines going around in the sport of boxing. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And like I always say, man, in the meantime and in between time, I want y'all to stay blessed and keep on supporting this sport that we love called boxing. Peace. I'll holla back. I think.